Hello and welcome to Planetside 2. In the last video, we covered all the basic infantry classes and how you can use them to assist your team in their ultimate goal of capturing territory. But how do you progress your character and start getting some better gear? This is where upgrading and cert spending comes into play. In this episode, we're going to cover how to spend your certs in the early to mid-game to really slingshot your progress by giving you the best bang for your in-game buck while retaining your flexibility on the battlefield by having all of the major tools available to you to deal with any situation. First, what's a cert? Every time you accumulate 250 experience points, your character is credited with 1 certification point, or cert for short. There are a few other ways to gain certs in the game. For example, you may have noticed that each time you ranked up in battle rank, you were awarded 100 certs. This only happens for the first 15 battle ranks to give new players a decent amount of certs to begin with, but generally speaking, you earn certs through gaining experience. You can see the number of certs you currently have at all times directly under the minimap. But don't stare at it too much, you'll be amazed at how fast you gain certs when you're just out on the battlefield having fun. So now that you know what a cert is and how to get them, this video will hopefully steer you towards spending your certs wisely to prevent you from struggling through your early days in Planetside 2. Before we get started, I want to mention 2 things. First, there's no such thing as a better weapon in this game. Every weapon is a side grade and sacrifices something to be better at something else. So don't spend your certs on a new weapon because they're expensive and won't really help you. Secondly, every default primary weapon that you have comes with a 1x reflex sight by default, but it isn't equipped. In order to equip it, click on your primary weapon's optics slot and select the sight that you have available. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's have a look at what we should be getting for our character. To start, let's make ourselves more difficult to kill. You can do this by unlocking rank 1 nanoweave armor in your suit slot for all of the classes that don't have it by default. These are the Infiltrator, the Light Assault, and the Engineer. It only costs 1 cert per class and it allows you to take 2 additional bullets from most weapons before dying. Considering that most weapons require 6 to 8 body shots to kill you, it's a significant increase to your survivability. Next, open your utility slot and unlock 2 ranks of medkit. These medkits will instantly restore all of your health just by left clicking on them. Note that it will restore your health, but not your shields. Unlocking 2 medkits will cost you 150 certs in total, but they unlock globally across all of your infantry classes. So go through all of your loadouts and equip the medkits to them. You can skip equipping them on your combat medic because you already have the nano regen device to heal yourself, and the additional 50 shield health from the auxiliary shield can really come in handy. Next, you're going to want to open your vehicle tab. Then select the Sunderer and go to its defense slot. Now unlock rank 1 in deployment shield for 50 certs. This will give your Sunderer an overshield that kicks in shortly after deploying, which will make it significantly harder to destroy. You could comfortably make it to battle rank 15 with just these things unlocked for a total of 203 certs, which you should be able to make after playing for just a few minutes if you followed the advice from my first few videos. But let's say you wanted to spend some more certs in your favorite class to make your life a little easier. My recommendations are as follows. If you want to invest in the Infiltrator, you can spend an additional 50 certs to get rank 1 in nano armor cloaking. Simply by having this cloak equipped, it will passively give you an additional 100 shield capacity, which will bring your total up to 500, which is the same as every other class. But The cloak's duration is much shorter than your standard cloak, so it's really up to you whether you choose to change to this type of cloak. Next, you can dump any remaining certs into your tool. I personally prefer the recon detection device over the motion spotter because it allows me to keep my enemies at arm's length while also assisting friendlies at range. The tool is more important to upgrade than your cloak because having better detection capabilities means you're more likely to gain additional experience from detection assists, and it's also more useful to your team. If you want to invest in the light assault, you can spend 150 certs in level 1 ambush jump jets and 700 certs for 2 bricks of C4 in your utility slot. C4 only unlocks per class, so make sure you're buying them on the correct class. To use C4, you right-click to throw and left-click to detonate. I like to equip these options on my second loadout, so that I can just charge into enemies, bombard them with my C4, and then finish off any survivors with my shotgun. If you want to invest in the combat medic, start by maxing out your nano regen device. Next, simply dump the rest of your certs into the medical applicator. This will allow you to be really survivable and also really boost the speed that you heal and revive friendlies at. If you want to invest in the engineer, you can start by maxing out your ammo pack. You can upgrade your ammo pack by pressing this button down here, Engineer Certs, and then go to the Abilities slot tab. Maxing out your ammo pack is expensive, but being able to drop a single ammo pack in a building and resupply everyone can rake in a significant amount of experience, and your investment will pay off quite quickly with very little effort. Next, you'll want to dump any remaining certs into your repair tool. If you want to invest in the heavy assault, you can start by unlocking the last 2 ranks of your medkits. Not only will this help your heavy assault, but all of your other classes too, because medkits unlock globally. Next, you'll want to dump any remaining certs into the adrenaline shield. It's the most expensive shield to upgrade, but it allows you to play more aggressively because you regenerate some of your overshield every time you get a kill. Okay, great. You've been playing for a few afternoons, and you get to battle rank 15. The last of the bonus 100 certs are awarded to you, and the next time you die, you get a screen that looks something like this. If you're a new player, I would recommend doing exactly what I did. Refund all your certs. This is a one-time offer for new players to refund their certs with no penalty in case they made a bad purchase. But you might notice that certs spent on weapons or weapon attachments are not refundable. So, now that you refunded your certs, you should have about 2,000 certs to spend. Again, the first 203 certs you should spend on 2 medkits, rank 1 nanoweave for all of your classes, and rank 1 deployment shield for your Sundra. Next, you're going to want to buy a different rocket launcher for your heavy assault. This is the Grounder for the TR, the Nemesis for the VS, and the Hawk for the NC. It will cost you 650 certs, but it's essential for a new player. These rocket launchers will lock onto aircraft after a short period of aiming at them, and will be your only real defense against aircraft for a long time until you can start investing some serious certs into upgrading vehicles of your own. Make sure to triple check that you're buying the right one. Next, if you're TR or VS, you're going to want to invest in a bolt-action sniper rifle for 325 certs. This is the M77B for the TR, and the XM98 for the VS. If you're NC, you already have a bolt-action sniper rifle by default, so hooray for you. You get to spend 325 certs on something else. There's nothing wrong with the semi-auto sniper rifles, but the bolt-action sniper rifles allow you to kill most players with a single headshot, which makes it a lot easier for new players to use. Remember, you can stop this scope sway by holding your sprint key, which is shift by default. This should leave you with roughly 800 certs left to spend. I personally always upgrade my combat medic first when creating a new character. I find the gameplay is engaging and fun, and the amount of experience you can pump out if you're a good medic is unmatched by any other class. But if you preferred to play one of the other classes, then I would highly recommend investing in what you found fun to play, using my aforementioned class setting tips. Okay, you're well on your way to being a fully functional member of Araxis, but maybe you're having a hard time aiming at people, or your fingers are getting tied in knots because you're trying to hit too many buttons with the same finger. If you're an experienced player watching these videos, you may have noticed that my aim isn't great and my actions are sluggish. I've purposely been using the default settings so new players can relate to the footage, but to find out how to overcome these problems, you'll have to watch the next episode where we'll cover settings and infantry keybindings.